Want help to grow your business? Download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.
Welcome to Grow Your Business. Hi, I'm Kath Molloy, and I'm your host for this session on body language for business success. I'm a keynote speaker and presenter and facilitator in leadership, sales, and service. And what we've found when we've worked with hundreds of clients and thousands of students is that the more we start to understand about ourselves, the better the connections are that we make. Have you ever felt you don't make that great first connection? You know, first time, every time, with a boss, a client. I've found that the more I started to study and understand body language, the better my communication skills were. And research shows us that 80% of how we communicate can be through our non-verbals, and that's our body language. We speak so loudly without even saying a word. So today, I'd love to show you 3 takeaway tools from this presentation. The first one is how to nail that first impression. You know, I run an international training company now, and in my first year, I signed face-to-face over $1 million in face-to-face contracts for training. So the first impression really does matter. The second thing I'd like to show you today is about self-leadership, because it really is the best leadership. And the third thing is that tiny small tweaks can make massive differences to our business. And today we're going to learn to implement a few of those with our body language so that we can create these big results. So 50% of business deals are done on the first handshake. That's the gut feelings that somebody has about you, or the way you make them feel about you. So why do we make our first impressions so quickly? And you know, they're made in just 7 seconds. Well, they say if we make a great first impression, it can lead to a job, an opportunity, or even a date. So I've made my first impression. Was it a good one? And if not, it could take up to 12 more positive opportunities to take away that first negative impression. So why do we make our first impression in just 7 seconds? Well, they say in the year 2000, we could hold a thought for 12 seconds. But now, in the year 2017, we're only holding a thought for 7 to 8 seconds. And scientists are saying, due to our smartphones, even a goldfish can hold a thought for longer. So, as the use of your smartphone has increased, do you feel that your concentration has decreased? Yes? No? Maybe? What was the question? So I'll say it again. Humans now have a shorter attention span than a goldfish, and that's why it's so important that we nail that first impression. So, I know you're on your phones today, which is so important, so stay on them. But when you're going into that meet and greet, turn it onto flight mode so it's not buzzing or vibrating in your pocket, because remember, it takes our focus away from our first impression. And today, I would love to share something really exciting with you, and it's the $1 Million Handshake. Now, we're going to do this live on Bryn TV for you today. So I'd love someone to come up from the crew to come and help me demonstrate a hack of the $1 Million Handshake. Let's have a look at it. Fantastic. So what's your name?
Chase.
Chase, hang on 1 second. This is Chase, and Chase, thank you for joining me today. Have we ever had a handshake or met before?
No.
So this is our first time live. Let's have a look and see what happens. Okay, Chase, I want you to treat me like your $1 million customer. So I want you to step back a few paces and come up and handshake.
Alrighty.
Okay, fantastic. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, great. Stay right where you are. Okay, thank you. So Chase has a wonderful smile, great eyes, good contact. There's a few things that we're going to do. When Chase first came up, he stepped back. So we're going to have a look at that in a moment because that can take us off balance. So it's really important that if we do, we bring our foot up and we stay even. Now you might notice our arms. Chase's arm is stretched out quite far. Mine's not too far, but it means we've got a big space between us. So Chase, I think you'd be more comfortable if you came in just a little bit. So about 3 feet. Oh, how's that?
Yeah, much better.
Much better. Straight away, we've relaxed, which is fantastic. So we want to make sure that we're not too tense here because that comes through into the other person's arm. So let me show you. When we tighten here, we pull our arm up. Feel that? Mm-hmm. And that straight away goes into the neck. And we can transfer this feeling into the next person. So it's really important to stay relaxed here, but firm here. Try that. A little bit firmer. Okay, great. We're going to drop hands just for a moment while I talk about a couple of other things. One is we don't put our hands in our pocket because we never know what's in there. Don't let people be thinking what's in your pocket. So we want great head contact. Sometimes we turn our head to the side. We're showing the ear like we're listening, but it's better if we can connect straight on. Our shoulders and our hips aligned because then it's just you and me having a great conversation, isn't it?
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Much better.
Great, we've made a really good connection. All right, let's shake hands again. Okay, now it's really important that our webs touch. I'm just going to alter this a little bit more. How's that feel?
Better. Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
So when we touch, we've actually created some trust here. And we might as well start off the handshake the way we'd like to end it, with that great feeling of trust. Fantastic. I really love what you're doing there. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more thing, and this is great if you can practice it too. Okay, in a second, I'm going to squeeze your hand quite firmly.
Okay.
And I want you to match my grip. So we'll look at a scale from 0 to 10. Now, the reason this is important because the handshake is about the way you make someone else feel. Okay, so meet me. Now I'm going to release. Meet me. How does that feel?
Yeah,
so we're both soft, but
yeah.
it feels great. Both firm. How does that feel?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
But now I want you to go soft while I go hard. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's strange.
Strange. I'm crushing you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do it to me. How does that feel?
Yeah, strange.
Strange. And what do you think of me when you're firm and I'm soft?
That you're soft.
I'm soft. I'm a bit weak. So it's really important that we learn to match who we're meeting. And in a nanosecond, we can do that, can't we?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Pretty
That's
instant.
awesome. Well, you have a great stand, beautiful, great eye contact, big smiles. I'm really impressed with your handshake.
Cool,
so
thank
just
you.
those tiny tweaks of staying grounded with your feet, keeping your other hands away from your pocket because we don't want to be hiding it behind our backs or anywhere. It makes people think, what's happening? And being able to be just that little bit more relaxed but firmer. A little bit firmer? Great. I would suggest that most of the time, if you do have a soft handshake today, just up it to about a 7 because it feels best
Yeah.
when people can meet and greet you. Now, Chase, I'm not finished with you yet.
Okay.
So Chase is going to help me show you 3 other things. So in the 80s, they loved playing with handshakes and they labelled them. So I'm going to have a look at 3 today that are still being used. And the first one is the pumper. Now, Chase, I noticed you pumped just a little bit. So in some cultures, especially in the Western world, they love to pump. But what it shows is that I'm really enthusiastic or I'm really nervous or I have too much energy, right? How does it feel to your arm?
Wobbly.
Wobbly. Do you want to do that to me now? You know, I hate it because I feel like my arm's being pulled off. So don't be a pumper. 2 to 3 times is absolutely enough. Fantastic. Go home and practice that tonight and see how it feels because if you're a pumper, stop now. The next one I'd like to show you is the princess. Well, ladies, it's okay to be a princess, but not in handshakes. Let me show you. So if we come in and we put our hand here, even if we're playing with a handshake, a gentleman might grab it by the end, and then next minute you're having a very uncomfortable shake. How does that feel to you?
Yeah, awkward.
Awkward. So men, please, when women come in for a handshake, make sure that you take the hand all the way through to the webs because we're in business. And there are women running amazing big companies around the world as well as men. So let's do business on even terms. Fantastic. And last but not least, I'd love to talk about the power. Now, some of you will know the dominant shake and some of you will be practicing it. Do you know the dominant handshake?
No. Not
Okay, I'm
familiar
going to
with
show
it,
you. It's when the other person's hand comes over top of yours. So this is a dominant handshake. How do you feel?
Uneasy, yeah.
A bit uneasy?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a few things we can do. So Chase, I want you to give me a dominant handshake. Big, firm, dominant handshake. Okay, I'm going to put this down for a moment. So what I could do to diffuse the situation is wrestle with you, because that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Looks a bit silly, so we won't do that. Something else I could do would be to put my hand on top of yours. You can put yours on top of mine, and that looks really silly too, so don't do that. Okay, something else I could do to stop the dominant handshake would be to step in, because it naturally twists. But how does that feel?
Yeah, confronting.
Really awkward
Yeah.
and confronting. Okay. And there's one other thing you could do is you bring your hand in as the dominant. I could grab him like that. Once again, all wrong, don't do it. What you need to know is when somebody does want to be dominant, let them, because they've just given you the power. You now know how to influence and persuade them. They want to feel like they're very important. So don't play with your handshakes, but accept what someone gives you because you've just learned about them. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Pretty
totally
interesting?
makes sense, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much,
No
Chase, for
worries.
coming up and joining us live so that we're able to show everybody else how to hack a handshake. Thank you. Okay, so let's have a look at the 5 tips for influential handshakes. Now, the eye contact is very, very important. And John F. Kennedy, a former president from America, did a study on handshakes. And what they found out was the eye position was just as important as the hands. So make sure we make that great eye contact. The next thing we want to look at is the degree of firmness. Now, as we showed you, in a nanosecond, we can change and alter that degree of firmness. Okay, this is really important. When our webs touch, it means we've made a fantastic connection. And it's really important to do this. A lot of people, depending on our behaviour style, just grab off-centre to the web because they haven't met you yet and they don't really trust you. But I think let's start off our meet and greet the way we want to end the meet and greet. And that's with being confident and trusting each other. Okay, our 4th tip is that we shake for 2 to 3 seconds, and that's it. Because sometimes when we just shake too long, no one knows when to let go and it becomes uncomfortable. And last but not least, let's not be a pumper. Remember, 2 to 3 pumps, and that's enough. So first impressions really matter. And our first impression is usually made through that handshake, or it could be emails or phone calls. So we need to start to become really conscious.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.